I'm in Salad and I'm on a car. And I saw Repo, the genetic opera. It is directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. This was requested by a Patreon. If you'd like to fast track a movie review, you can do that at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you haven't seen this, I will spoil it for you. It's a rock opera. If you haven't seen a rock opera, this is one that exists. Also, sponsored by my Linktree, you can check that out after the review. I have a Fansly, very spiciness level through the roof there. You can go check that out. The movie starts with a really cool style of introducing the world. It's via like these comic book page panels that are animated. And I really like how immediately dark the story is. It's like, oh, well, we live in a society that basically there's this guy who's like, oh, I have a lot of organs to sell, and I need people to buy organs. Well, how do I have people buy organs? Well, make it a fashion statement, of course, to change out your organs in your face and such. Like, you know, internal organs, arms. But with that comes a Repo Man, hence the name of the movie, part of it at least. And Repo Man, if you don't pay your dues, because, you know, everyone has insecurity, which is having a nice, normal, untouched body in this world. If you don't pay your dues, the Repo Man will just repossess your organs. So there was a lot of brutal scenes of showing the Repo Man just like straight up, oh, if you don't pay for your heart, he's just going to straight up tear the heart from out of your chest. And that's wild, man. Like that was pretty intense. This was probably the first 5 minutes of the movie, and I'm getting introduced to a world where it's okay, it's legal to murder pretty much, as long if you owe money to a certain guy. Geneco's the corporation, and I'm like, oh boy, what happened in this world? Apparently this takes place during the 21st century. I saw some signs that said 2030 or something on it. It's like, oh geez, I hope this isn't the society in 7 years. I'll do a video in 2030 and be like, oh, is this society? Are we harvesting organs now? Is this legal? Also, there's this painkiller called Zydrate. It's hydrate or dihydrate, I guess. Hydrate or dihydrate, Zydrate. It's a painkiller because there's so many surgical operations. You just painkiller, but you know, with a government or a corporation that's like, oh, you can only buy drugs from us and you have to pay a lot of money, you know what happens? A big old black market. Ah, yes, the good old black market where things are cheaper and less regulated and are likely to be from dead people. Yeah, there's people that just like go into grave sites and take this fluid and take it out of dead people. Is this like some sort of sack that's put in this dead person's nose? Is there a sack that's just like in a dead person? Like, how do they extract this fluid? I mean, I know they like go through the eyes or nose or whatever, but it's like, how, I guess? That was kind of my big question there. But the movie starts with a grave robber and a chick. Grave robber's in the grave, robbing. He gets caught, you know, police are coming, oh no. And then there's this chick with a blood disease. I like her a lot. Her name is Shiloh. Not Shiloh Buff was the first thought that the first thing that I came up with when I said Shiloh right there and then. And I also like Shiloh's like cool character design. I mean, I felt like this movie, her singing parts earlier in the movie, I'm not like the biggest fan of, because, you know, it's like introducing her, oh, my mother got me a disease, you know, a blood disease. And I'm like, oh no, there's a whole debacle that this father thinks he MDK'd his wife because he gave him a thing, because he gave her a thing, a drink a thing, and then she died. That's not fun. That I totally recognize why he would, you know, do the thing that he does. He's the Repo Man, you know, the The father of Shiloh is the Repo Man, and I love the little entanglement between all the characters that we see. Now we see the head of Jinko was in love with Shiloh's father's wife. They were dating at some point. I'm just gonna give them names, a little bit simpler. Nathan's Shiloh's father. So Nathan took basically, I wouldn't say took. Basically, like, she left. And he's dying of cancer. I find this funny and ironic because there's a lot of bugs. Don't get me wrong, I don't like bugs. But also what's interesting is that he's running a company that sells body parts, but he can't get the body parts he needs to stop this cancer from spreading, and so he's like literally about to die. You got his children like fighting over his inheritance, which I find very funny, because it's like, these are the worst children in the world. When by children I mean literally his child, but they're adults. So you got the head of Jinko's like, my children suck. I have multiple children and they're all adults and they're all terrible. I want to give my company to Shiloh. I'm like, oh, it's because you probably you loved Shiloh's mother, which is nice. Also, you have Nathan. He's like trying to hide that he's a Repo Man, trying to keep Shiloh in the cage of her room because she has a blood disease. That song was pretty cool when she was talking about her blood disease from her mother. Sorry, I hit the mic right there. It was also turned out that Jinko guy was the one who MDK'd the wife that he so loved because of it was petty. It was kind of seemed petty. He was just gonna MDK this chick because Nathan got the chick and he didn't. What a bad person. Now I know why the wife that died didn't want to be with the Jinko guy. So we have this whole situation. Oh, we're gonna go to this whole event today, and it's gonna be awesome. It's all opera, by the way. Did I mention that? It's all singing. They're all singing about their predicaments. We have this one event that the head of Jinko is trying to get Shiloh to go to, and now we're at the point where it's like, well, what will happen once Shiloh gets to this place with this man that MDK'd her mother? And she finds stuff out about her father being a Repo Man, and she's horrified, but at the same time, where do you think all this money comes from, dude? Like, look, you have a nice place, okay? Why are you just like, oh, he might be like an accountant or something? No, did you see the place? It's so gothic, he's so dark, he's so weird, he's so brooding, okay? Just accept the fact that your father is a weird dark man who had to cut you out of the dead mother, to save you. C-section. He did a C-section. I find incredibly hardcore, and it pretty much endeared me to him pretty much immediately. She's a teenager. She's 17, so she's like, I hate you, father, and decides to leave. She just leaves. And now the company goes to, this chick, what will happen to the company? What would happen to a company, a very successful company, that is now being given to a female? I think it will crumble without a man present. What do you think? Leave me a comment below, because I just think, oh yeah, women independent stuff, haha, yeah, that stuff, you know, that stuff that exists, oh, women, female empowerment. Okay, I present you this though. One man brain equals at least 5 women brains. At least. In terms of like the computing power it has to run a company. I totally believe this. One man brain, completely better than 5 women brain. At me in the comments. I just want to let me know if you disagree, because I'm very strongly opinionated about this. So, you know, I hope the company gets destroyed. I think that's a good, best case scenario. You got people like obsessed with their images, obsessed with changing their appearance, and then if they can't pay, they get MDK'd for it. So this is a really crazy society. I like the world environment building. The world is so weird and dark and grotesque. There are some moments where I was like, this is awesome. This is cool. Especially the scene where she's like rebelling against her father. And was like, I'm 17. I'm like, but that's not 18. The government doesn't think you're an adult yet. You're not free at 17. Oh, you're just gonna leave? Okay, I guess you are then. Okay, bye-bye. But that was cool colors in that scene. What's also interesting, there's some moments where there's some gore. Of course, there's some gore, some over the top gore. I wasn't a big fan of the gore personally, but it made a point of the weird, grotesque nature of this area, of this world that we're living in, and also just general character developments of all the characters. I definitely felt like more like human connection to like all of these characters than like something that doesn't do that. So that's fine. Some of the performances were awesome. Some of the performances in between the performances that were awesome, I felt were weird. And that's weird. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be helping with the tone of the movie. But I also think that it's just a little, I wasn't a big fan of some of the performances that were just the key. It was weird. The chord progression was weird. I wasn't a big fan of that. But I generally enjoyed this movie. This was pretty fun. After a while, I got sick of the singing. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, this was my first rock opera. So I gotta give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. YouTube really likes that. You can also like, comment, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer, so if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that. You can fast track a movie review at patreon.com/ASEPresents. $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month, $3 a month for how to draw Pokemon tutorials posted there first and early on patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, and go to this link tree. It really helps the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews. So you can go here, and until next time, I'm Salad Saw. I'll see you later tomorrow. Salad croutons, bacon bits.